I can't get enough of this, man. I am hooked on this channel. I am hooked. This is it, man. I'm excited. I'm working on new content and I'm ready to bring it out to you guys. Putting it all together piece by piece, and I'm really looking forward to the next set of videos that will be coming. As I mentioned, I am working currently on my recovery video from the eczema, and as soon as I have that finished, I will upload it and get it out to you guys. I know I've been talking about this, and just sorry if it seems to be or sound like it's being prolonged, but I wanted to make sure I take my time with it and put a nice little package for you guys, so you guys can see, that the world's a beautiful place, and you just got to explore different things and different options, and that sometimes we can't just always trust what everybody else believes, or may advise. Sometimes we have to do a little bit of digging up, and may take some research, and that kind of thing. And sometimes, we're so busy that it's easier to go to the doctor and just say, hey, you know what, doc, fix me up, give me a prescription, give me something, to make this pain go away, to make these feelings go away. And sometimes it ain't that way, guys. I mean, you take the easy way out, what's gonna happen is that something else is gonna fall apart. The wheels are gonna fall off the wagon, man. You ever heard of that saying? Well, that's what happens, sometimes if you let people control your life, and dictate what they believe is right for you, Sometimes they don't even know what's really wrong with you, because you go in there and sometimes people are screaming, hollering, I don't know, everybody has their own different reaction depending on how they feel and how severe the disease or the symptom is. But all of these diseases and these symptoms are actually caused by the very food that we eat. There's no ifs or buts about it, man. Like, I didn't know that before, guys. And I didn't, and some people say, oh, it can't be as simple as that. Yeah, it is as simple as that. Oh, no, that because this runs in, these genes and these traits run in my family. Not so, my friend, not so. There may be some traits and some genes, and there may be some things, but in general, when you think about it, when you were first born as a kid, as a little child or baby or whatever you want to call it, you were not sick and ill, were you? No, you were up and running about, and you had all this energy, and you felt good. And if you can recall back to those days, you look upon that, you'll see that you're a very healthy person. Now, what happened is that over the course of the years, you've encountered, some toxins that went into your body, into your bloodstream, and over the years, the body is an amazing how do I say this, organism, because of the fact that it has a tremendous defense. People take it for granted, the kind of defense that your body has. It's amazing what it overcomes and for how long it takes this punishment. I mean, we have people that are alcoholic that drink on a daily basis, like tons of amounts of alcohol, but yet they still get up the next morning and they go to work and they function, They have a little bit of water, yeah, they got a hangover, they got a headache and so forth, but they come back, they bounce back. And guess what they do after work? Go have another shot. Go figure. Now you tell me if your body is not tremendous in absorbing and taking punishment. It sure is. It sure is. But just like with anything, any machine will break down eventually, right? Even if it's built to last, Everybody says, oh, I built this to last, and everything breaks. Fortunately, everything breaks, and we break too. And the thing is that the older we get, the more these symptoms will show up. because, you know, that's the wear and tear of all the years that you've endured during that course. And depending on, again, what kind of foods you're eating, how long you're eating these foods, and all these things will depend on how severe the disease or the issue that you have. But all these issues and symptoms that you're having are reversible. It does exist. This world exists. It may take some soul searching, some digging up, some hard work on your part, because again, it all depends on how much damage there is. And sometimes it takes even more than that. Like for me, for example, I've gone on for such a long time with my issues. I remember thinking I was gonna die, you know, and I remember talking to my sister about it, saying, man, you know, I feel like my world is coming apart, like it's gonna end, you know. And I felt lost and I felt helpless and I felt like there was nowhere to turn to or nowhere to go to. And it was one of the most, how do I say this, disturbing feelings that I felt, you know, like thinking that you may possibly die, you know, and at a young age, because, you know, I don't really consider myself an old person, though some people may say, hey, you're old or whatever, or you look old or whatnot, but I don't consider myself old. Not in the mind, not in the body, but however, with the abuse, you know, over the years of that course of eating, you know, all these, and I didn't know any better. It was not something that I knew, because if I had known, then perhaps, you know, I would have certainly changed the diet, but I didn't know about these GMOs that exist. You know, I didn't know that world existed. You know, I didn't know about the high corn fructose corn syrup that's in most products that we buy. I didn't know how damaging that was. And I didn't, you know, I certainly didn't know about all these pesticides that go into fruits and vegetables to preserve them, to you know, to keep all the bugs from eating the produce, you know. I didn't know about all that. I just knew that I was going to the store and I was going to pick out whatever I liked, you know, and whatever smelled good or looked good, that's what I was going to buy, because that's what everybody else was doing. But I didn't know about that. I learned later, a lot later in life, when I was already down in the hole. Pretty bad, actually, pretty severe. Several times that I went to the ER, and only to be signed off to go home without knowing what the real issue was. Nobody could tell me what it was, you know. Nobody can see it, not in the lab, not in the blood work, not going to these specialists. They sent me to see a heart specialist. They told me I should see a thyroid specialist. They told me I was diagnosed as a pre-diabetic. I mean, man, I had so many issues that I felt like my world, like I said, was coming to an end. I was getting heart palpitations. I was not sleeping at night. I was losing dramatic amount of weight. I couldn't go to the bathroom, you know. I was severely bloated and constipated, and the severe inflammation that was in my stomach and my intestinal tract, it was just ongoing. It was such a vicious cycle, man. Like, I got to the point where I just didn't want to talk to nobody. I didn't want to be around anybody. I didn't have the strength to be around anybody. You know, I was so you know, so beat up mentally, physically. I didn't have the energy. You know, I couldn't function. I had to call out a lot of times from work, you know, and oh man, I think I hit rock bottom so hard that the bottom gave out, like that there was no bottom. You know, like let's just say like you had a boat, right? And you're out in the middle of the ocean, but all of a sudden you sprung a huge leak. It's not this little leak where you can plug it in and Maybe you can get a bucket. No, that thing just it broke the whole underneath, and that thing is sinking like the Titanic, and it's gonna suck you in too, whether you like it or not. I mean, that's how bad it was for me, at least. And through it all, I remained extremely positive. I remember just praying, on a daily basis, just believing, that through God's, you know, will, I will somehow find a way. I really believed that. I kept praying on it, and I just kept believing it, and through that time I started doing my searching. I started doing that searching that I tell you guys to go out, explore the world, man. The world is big and beautiful, man, and we're always indoors, closed in. I was one of those people. I was indoors. I was playing video games all the time. I didn't, I thought that was life. Yeah, I thought you just play games all day, and hey, that's fun. That's cool. I'm here with my buddies, and they all support you and they root you. Hey, we need you. Come on, get on. All this kind of stuff. But guys, man, uh, in the old days, they weren't doing that. We played the role of a scientist, of a doctor. We tampered with, Mother Nature. We've done so many things that it's even harming the planet that we live in. And not just the planet that we live in, the animals that surround us. I mean, a lot of beautiful animals have become extinct, have died off because of what we're putting in the soil and in the waters. Look at all the whales that are dying. Look at all the coral reef that has you know has been exposed and has started to die. I mean, guys, man, I can go on and on. And this stuff is ignored. And I was one of those people too, man. I just want you guys to know, you're not the only ones, but word, wisdom, and knowledge, man. We need to get this out. We need to start doing something for each other, for the planet, for the animals, for the sake of humanity, because if we don't, we're all the ones that are at stake. And maybe you don't get to see it. Maybe you're not concerned because you say, well, maybe I got another 50 years. Maybe I got another 60. By then I'll be long and gone. But think about this. If you have children, your children may see that, or maybe they don't see it. But maybe their children's children may see it. I mean, that should kind of trigger something into you. It's how you care about something and how you put yourself in that perspective. Um, and we need to stand up, and we need to show a good example. I mean, man, the world's a beautiful place. There's so many different places to see and explore. And everybody's just cooped in indoors where it's most convenient, blasting the AC and watching their programs or their runs, or oh, I gotta binge watch on Netflix. I'm catching up with what's that show called, Orange is the New Black, or whatever you're into or you're like, whatever popular show that's on Netflix. Man, I was one of those people too. Alright? I want you guys to know it. I did all of that and then some. I did it all, but I learned, and I decided to take a stand. And yeah, it took me to hit rock bottom before I discovered that world. Before I went into my adventure and doing that research and digging up and finding out all about the GMOs and everything. But everything is about about you taking the initiative and exploring and figuring out things, and not letting people figure out things for you. But if I can leave anything, and again, these videos are getting quite long, and I feel like I have so much to say, and it's hard to crunch it in a 5 minute session, guys. It really is, you know, because I have so much to offer and so much to give and so much that I've learned over these last few years, you know. I feel that God has put me on this path for a reason. I feel that the reason is to educate you guys, you know. So forgive me if I'm here and you guys feel that I'm just mumbling and you know I'm not that handsome guy over the video log or internet, you know, but it's not about that for me, you know. It's about leaving a little bit of knowledge behind and helping to help another human being out, you know, if they may be going through a hardship or a hard time and maybe they don't know about this world, you know. I didn't know about it before, and it took a lot of searching, a lot, day in and night out. I mean, I'm telling you guys the truth. I've hit the books hard, harder than I ever hit it. Not, I don't even think I hit the books that hard in school because I wasn't really a school person. Just being honest with you guys. But as I got older, I wanted to learn things. I wanted to be educated, and I wanted to pass it on to my friends and to my family, to my daughter, and all those good things, you know. And hopefully these videos will outlive me, you know. They'll be there on the internet for you guys to see whether I am here today or gone tomorrow, and that to me is satisfaction. So with that being said, guys, I want to thank you for watching. I really look forward to bringing more content to you guys, and please make sure to like, unlike if you don't like it. Leave a comment down below because I am always up for comments and being able to provide feedback. I certainly would appreciate that. Subscribe certainly, and don't forget to click on that notification bell so you can be notified of the latest content. This is the Wizard Man signing out. God bless, and thank you again for watching.